How's it going, guys? We're back with another video. But before that, I just wanted to thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. I'm at 200 subs and the new goal is 1,000. So let's get that subscriber count up. If you're a fan of One Piece, if you love good content, hit that subscribe button and let's get into the video. In this video, I want to focus on something that I've seen a few YouTubers touch up on, but to be honest, I haven't really seen somebody make a full video about it. Pretty much it's going to be comparing the Viz translations, the official Sunday translations, compared to the unofficial, the scans, the Friday scans, the Friday translations. That's what I like to call them. I like to call them the Friday scans, right? But we're going to be comparing both of them today, right? Because I feel that personally I have a preference, right? And we'll get into that as the video goes on. You'll see which one's my preference. But I do want you guys to see the differences. Even though they're very subtle, I have a preference, and you guys are going to see which one shortly. Keep in mind, this is going to be in regards to specifically chapter 1059. So if you haven't read chapter 1059, go ahead and read it, right? It's Monday as of the moment of this recording, so you go read chapter 1059. You're crazy if you're watching this and you haven't read it yet. Anyway, let's get on with the video. For the record, I am going to be calling them the Friday scans, right? That's what I like to call them. So Friday scans are the unofficial, and then the official scans are the ones that come out every Sunday, the Viz scans, you know the deal. So let's go through some examples of what I'm talking about, right? I'll try to do like some side-by-side examples so you guys know what I'm talking about. And we'll see which one's better, right? Which one does things better than the other. I might be a little biased, but hey, you guys, let's get on with the video. Let's see what we got. Here are some examples. You guys tell me which one sounds cooler, right? So we got the cover page. We're gonna start with the cover pages. Both of them have different titles, so they have completely different titles for this chapter depending on the translation you choose to read, right? So you guys tell me which one you prefer. The Captain Kobe Incident, rolls off the tongue, right? Or the matter involving Captain Kobe. The Captain Kobe Incident or the matter involving Captain Kobe. Yeah, even the little caption, right? It's Germa 66's cold-blooded voyage. Sounds pretty epic, right? Sounds pretty cool. Germa 66's cold-blooded voyage. Or the alternative, Germa 66's unemotionless excursion. What's that all about, dude? Like, what's going on there, right? So, if it wasn't obvious enough, the first one is the Friday scans, and then the second one would be the official, right? So, on Fridays, the unofficial, it says the Captain Kobe Incident, Germa 66's cold-blooded voyage. Sounds pretty epic, right? Sounds brutal, right? It sounds intense. The other one's not so much, right? The official, the matter involving Captain Kobe. Germa 66's an emotionless excursion. Sounds corny, right? It sounds kind of lame. It sounds so cheesy. But that's just me. Maybe that's just my opinion. The Boa Hancock scene is really interesting, the way each one handled it. Very, very subtle differences, but you'll see what I'm talking about. So, Boa Hancock, at this point, I just want to be married to Luffy. And then the grandma says, "You mean at every point?" Not as funny as the Friday scans, which you'll see now. In the Friday scans, she says, Boa Hancock says, "Since it's come to this, I think I'd better go and marry Luffy." The grandma says, "You always think that." Right? That's funnier. I like "you always think that" more than "you mean at every point?" You mean at every point. Like, when has that sentence ever been uttered in human history, right? Anyway, yeah, you see, it's subtle, but it just seems more believable, right? It's more comedic. The timing's better. Like, it's just a smoother sentence, right? Also, the dialogue with Blackbeard and Vasco shot is much more PG in the official scans, right? In the Friday scans, though, he says, "Don't you think we could have had more fun with her if we took her alive?" Implying some dark, criminal activity. But it's fitting, right? Because it's Vasco Shot. This guy's like the epitome of an evil, grotesque, sick, criminal mind, right? That's what he is. That's what he looks like. He screams that, right? So it's fitting. That sentence is fitting. But in the official translation, he says, "We should take her back alive so we can be good friends with her." And yeah, you can nitpick that one, right? Because obviously he probably means the same thing, Vasco Shot. When he says good friends, we kind of know what he's implying, but I don't know, there's something about the way he says it in the Friday scans that seems a little bit more menacing, right? A little bit more malicious. And I kind of like that because Blackbeard and his crew are a malicious, sick bunch. So I like good fitting dialogue for the characters, right? Next, let's talk about the Kobe line. So Kobe has a line when Boa reveals some secrets of her devil fruit to Blackbeard to keep him from killing her, right? So in the Viz, the official, Kobe says, "Boa Hancock's toughness is beyond anything I imagined." He's complimenting her toughness, right? But in the Friday scans, he is complimenting her sharp mind and intelligence, especially like her battle IQ, right? So he says in the Friday scans, he says, "I knew it. Boa Hancock is far trickier than anyone expected," which is much more fitting for these circumstances, right? So in the first one, he says, "Boa Hancock's toughness is beyond anything I imagined." Her toughness, right? But in that scene, she's getting choked out by Blackbeard, and she's not really, she just got beat, right? So there's not really, sure, she's tough, but in that specific moment, that's not really something that would be coming to Kobe's mind, right? He was reacting to what she was telling Blackbeard about her devil fruit and how if Blackbeard were to get rid of her, his crew and everybody there is going to stay statues forever. So that's what Kobe was reacting to. So in the Friday scans, he's saying, "I knew it. Boa Hancock is far trickier than anyone expected." It fits better, right? It's a better response to what's actually going on, because she's not really being tough in that moment, right? We all know she's tough. We all know she's strong. It just makes way more sense for Kobe to say that, what he says in the Friday scans compared to the official, right? So we got a few more examples. I don't want to make this video too long, but Rayleigh's line is also not as epic, right? In the official, he says, "Hey you, Whitebeard's cabin boy, this isn't very mature of me, but I've never liked you anyway." Anyway. Like, you didn't need to put that word in there, right? Anyway was so unnecessary, right? But, this is nowhere near as cool as what he says in the Friday scans. So this is probably the most blatant one where it's like just one word changes the entire tone of the moment, right? So he says, "Whitebeard's old apprentice, huh? I know it's immature to admit this, but I really don't like you." Oof. Sick burn, Dark King Rayleigh. Sick burn, right? It just hits better, right? Why did he say, "I don't like you anyway"? In the official, it's just, "I really don't like you." Just hits harder, right? It's, oh. Yeah, man, that just slaps. That slaps. All the slaps, right? All the slaps. They are basically saying the same thing, right? They're basically saying the same thing. And I keep repeating the same thing. But the Friday scans just hit different, right? The words have more impact. They feel more realistic, right? And then at the very end of the chapter, Rayleigh has some other lines that I feel are also not handled very well in the official either, right? It's just like the official this week was just kind of slacking, right? Some of the most impactful quotes just didn't hit the same, right? So let me read you this. I think this is the last one. So this is after the whole Blackbeard thing. This is like weeks later, right? I believe so, or like a couple days later. So he says, quite frankly, it was on the particulars of the situation that made it possible to save her. At my age, I couldn't have possibly won in a head-to-head fight against Blackbeard. The particulars? What? I hate this wording. Like, what are the particulars? I much prefer what he says in the Friday scans, right? So look at how much better this sounds, right? Look, this is what he says in the Friday unofficial scans, right? To be frank, we got lucky. Circumstances allowed me to resolve things with my reputation. I've gotten old. I'm pretty certain I wouldn't win a head-on fight against Blackbeard these days. So much better. It's so much better. In the unofficial, the words actually carry some weight, right? He clearly states that it was his clout, right? It was his reputation that allowed him to intimidate Blackbeard. And he also makes it seem that if he needed to fight Blackbeard, he would put up a decent fight. He's not going to get, one-shotted or low diff by Blackbeard, but there's a good chance he probably wouldn't win due to his old age, right? But he gives himself, he has some self-respect, right? And Rayleigh's, I think he's pretty up there, right? I don't think he'd beat Blackbeard, but I definitely think he'd give him a run for his money, and it'd probably be an extreme diff fight. Seeing as a Seraphim was pushing Blackbeard, I'm pretty sure that Rayleigh would definitely do some major damage, right? Hockey master, a little bit older, probably has stamina issues, but you'll definitely get in some nasty licks, right? That's just my opinion, right? Anyway, guys, I'm sure a lot of YouTubers probably do this, but I just wanted to give it a shot because I feel that I haven't really seen nobody kind of compare the two, next to each other like this. And I have been noticing lately that the Friday scans have just been like the GOAT as of late. So I wanted to give them their props. Whoever's doing the writing over there is doing an amazing job. Viz, not hating on Viz, man. Viz is awesome. Viz gives us some of the best, stories and translations of all time, right? But as of late, in regards to One Piece, I feel like they definitely could step it up a notch, put a little bit more heart into the dialogue, right? Put a little bit more weight, get a little bit more creative with some of the word choices, right? It's real easy for me to say, right? I'm just some guy on YouTube commenting on their work, right? Just critiquing them, but I definitely feel that if they were to take some of these tips, the Viz could eclipse the Friday translations. They just have to put in a little more work, get a little bit more creative with some of the word choices, because honestly, just reading the Friday translations, so many of those quotes just hit so different than the official, right? So again, this is all just my opinion. I don't want to bash either one. It's just, case by case. In this chapter, Friday scans beat them, blew them out of the water, right? But we'll see. Maybe 1060. Maybe in the next chapter, Viz steps it up and demolishes the Friday scans, right? The unofficial. So we'll see. We'll see. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully by the end of the year, man. That's my goal. So hit that subscribe button. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more videos like this of me comparing translations, this was a lot of fun. I like doing this kind of video, so I'd love to do more. Let me know in the comments. All right, take care, guys. Peace.